Before we bring on our next guest, we'd just like to remind you of a brand new service on the show.
Yep, you can now SMS your questions to us in real time.
Just type TBS space and your message or question and send it to 33399. That's 33399, and we'll try to get as many questions answered as possible.
Now, each SMS costs 50 cents.
All right, now to the good stuff.
Yes,
We're going to bring on
definitely.
our guest. So if you have any questions or feedback for our next guest, you know what to do. The number again is 33399. Let's tell you a bit of our first guest first. He went go-karting in Shah Alam to testing a Lotus F1 in Duxford.
Yeah, now this was
How
made
great is
possible
that?
by Aero Asia's Asian Driver Development Program, which is run under the watchful eye of one Alex Young.
We have here with us today the driver in question, 16-year-old Nabil Jeffrey, and Lotus F1 CEO, Dato Sri Tony Fernandes.
Welcome
Good
to
morning,
the show,
gentlemen.
guys.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
Hey, thank you for coming.
Now, you actually leave for the UK on Saturday.
Yep.
Tell us about what you've been doing to get into this coveted spot.
I started go-karting when I was 8 years old. Then after being in go-karting for 5 years, then it was last year, 24th October, it was my birthday. When Tony came to the track, he said, what's your next step after go-karting? And I said, I'm going to support you all the way. And I said, okay. I was surprised.
Do you think he was joking in that time?
Yeah, I was like joking.
He's like, okay, who's playing a birthday joke on me?
Yeah, then it actually became a reality when I started racing Formula BMW this year. And yeah, I did quite well actually this year, finishing 5th in the championship. And that's why.
Okay, what made you want to start go-karting? I mean, what made you? Was it a family encouragement or just somehow you're like friends?
Somehow just I think my parents, they brought me to the track and they said, okay, let's try go-karting. It's something different, you know. And I love it. You know?
So it started out like a family activity,
Yeah,
and then you kind of
it
grew on you, and you kind of just embraced it, yeah.
Yep.
Dato Sri, did you always have your eye on Nabil?
Actually, Farid,
Right.
TV3 mentioned Nabil to me, and we went go-karting together. He said, you got to meet this kid. I have to say I did.
Rematch, that's all I know.
I met Nabil, and instantaneously I decided that he had something that most people I see don't have.
Right.
One, he had his ego in check. That success wasn't going to go to his head. I think that's very important. He's seen the personality.
Right.
On his driving skills, I didn't know whether he was brilliant, average, or whatever. I had to rely on Alex. So I called Alex at the track, and he said, "This guy is special."
Wow.
So personality plus talent equals someone we want to support.
Definitely.
And at that point, the Asian Drivers Development Program was already in place, yeah?
No, we created it really
for
Nabil, and we've got some other guys now there as well. We want to start young. We have an 11-year-old, 12-year-old. We're looking at guys at 8-year-old and above. So,
but they don't get behind the wheel just yet, do they? Or
they do. If you look
the
at
smaller karts.
If you look at the 8-year-olds driving go-karts, it is quite phenomenal. The talent in this country is huge. We've now just got to give them the exposure, and that's what we're doing with Nabil now. He wouldn't have been able to get into Formula BMW without Plus and AirAsia, and now giving the exposure of getting to a Formula 1 car. I mean, he's gone in 1 year
from a go-kart to an actual professional F1 car.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
as you said before the interview, he hasn't got a driver's license.
Yes, because in this country, at the age of 16, you still can't obtain a driver's license. How crazy is that?
So what are your long-term plans? Who do you eventually want to emulate when it comes to Formula 1 racing?
Is it? For me, it's Lewis Hamilton.
We can't be friends anymore.
It's okay, I'm non-partisan in this sense. So, okay, Lewis Hamilton, why? Why Lewis Hamilton?
I think he has a lot of, we have similar personalities. Like, he's a very aggressive driver, and he just wants to win all the time. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Just don't go racing cars and around the streets of Melbourne, okay? You get in trouble.
Because he's got a really hot girlfriend too, right? That's why you want to emulate him.
Okay, so tell us exactly what you'll be doing for the Lotus F1 racing team in the UK.
Okay, I'll be flying to UK this Saturday for the test. So practically I'll be just at the factory the first 2 days before the test, learning what simulators and also learning more about the cars. Especially the steering wheel. There's a lot of buttons on it, and you just have to know all the functions. And Yeah, the first 2 days I'll be learning that, and on the 1st of September I'll be sitting in the Formula 1 car to test for Aero test.
So exciting.
Yeah, it's very, very, you know, I felt very thrilled when Tony called me himself saying, "Oh, are you ready to drive a Formula 1 car?" I said, "Yeah, definitely." Who wouldn't say it?
It's every young boy's dream, isn't it?
Yeah, it's since my childhood actually, because.
The sad thing is, he's never believed anything I've said.
But it has all come true.
Yeah, it's all come true.
Handled with a bit of skepticism. Now, what kind of homework have you been doing on your own, you know, before prepping yourself to go to England?
I've been searching the net, like reading more about the cars, you know, learn more about the cars, about the cambers and all, because Alex Young said, it's very, very important to impress the team. So. Yeah, I've been doing some research, like reading about the cars and what's the car able to do, and a lot of new development for the cars. Right. So that's all I think.
Yeah, and you got to work on your fitness too, because I heard all these, you know, F1 race cars drivers.
There's also a race after UK, so I'll be flying straight to China.
Wow.
So the past 2 months I've been doing a lot of fitness tests and a lot of gym work.
Wow, excellent. So you're 16, man. I can't believe it. And you're flying all over the world, you know, racing cars. That's a dream that most of us have, but never do really achieve.
Yeah. That's history. What will how will the team help Nabil in his development?
Well, I mean, I think that's one of the objectives of what we did when we set up Lotus F1 was basically I believe, and Kamaruddin and NASA, that in Malaysia we have talent that can be the next Lewis Hamilton.
Right.
And it's not just about the driver, it's also about having engineers, CFD, guys in the pit, etc. We want to show that Malaysia can compete with the world. We ain't going to do it in many other sports anytime soon, like football, etc. But I think in Formula 1, we can. We have a world-class track. And I think it's important for our youth to be able to see that they can be world champions. And I think it changes the whole psyche of the country. So with Nabil now, you know, in 1 year, we put him into a single seat.
Yeah.
With the help of AirAsia, and AirAsia is all about developing dreams and developing reality. And then combined with the Lotus team, he's going to have a lot of exposure. So before the test, he's going to have a look at Formula 3, which would be his next logical step. Right. And then obviously with the connections we have, we can put him into GP2 after Formula 3. Right. And then hopefully one day he'll be driving in a Lotus F1 car. Yeah. I've always said that it's not about, we don't want to rush it. There's no point shoving someone in there and then he's not ready. But we believe if we coach Nabil around the way and he mixes with the right people and he has the right competition, then he has every chance of emulating Alex Young. And wouldn't that be Alex Young, Lewis Hamilton, and Alex? But wouldn't that be amazing?
It would.
For a Malaysian to be up there competing with the best in the world. So we'll take it slow, but I think we have the right ingredients. One in the person. Two, in the fact that, you know, where would a Malaysian go? It's hard, but at least now with Lotus, there's connections, there's openings.
I think, support from your own countrymen, I think, is very important in this country, because that's something that we lack.
It's always the infrastructure to bring that person into that next level and then breaking through to the next level.
Right. I mean, I've always said we have the talent to be as good as anyone in the world, but it's exposure. You know, it's true, and it's having the right competition. Because he could win 100 Formula BMWs here, but if he doesn't move up to the next level, he won't know what his standard is compared to the rest of the world. There's no reason why we can't be the best.
How excited are you about meeting Mike Gascoigne?
Very excited because I've known him. I've actually met him before once. He's a very nice guy.
You get to work with him at all?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We're
bringing down Heikki as well.
Oh, nice.
So Heikki will be spending time with Nabil, and obviously Heikki's had many years, and I think we can tell Nabil everything, but from a fellow Formula 1 driver, not as I say fellow, because I think he will be one, that's much more worth from someone who's actually in the car all the time.
Obviously, and just the amount of inspiration you get from that, listening.
I think Nabil's been lucky because Alex is obviously. And Alex is doing a fantastic job. Really,
is he mentoring you?
Yeah, he's been a lot of help for me because everything I do practically this year is with him. So I go running with him, and at the track he'll be there, arriving at 8 a.m. in the morning So
which is very rare for Alex, by the way.
That is true.
Having been stood up in golf a few times.
Well, golf and race cars, I think it's different.
Very different.
But Dr. Tony, you have an eye for talent, you know, and you've always looked for, you know, top entrepreneurs and now obviously race car drivers. Do you apply a similar formula in searching for talent?
Yeah, I suppose I'm a bit lucky in that I'm able to spot people who have that.
What do you go for, like in
personality?
In personality.
Personality, and what the ability to say I want to be the best, because money can't buy that, and you can't train that.
It's a drive, isn't it?
It's a drive, because wanting to say you want to be the best, it's easy to say.
Yeah.
But it takes a hell of a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Nothing comes easy in life.
Of course.
And so the ability to see whether like, someone says, I want to be the best, just as words, or I really want to be the best, and I'm going to put what it takes to be the best. And you look at Nabil's O-level results, you look at his whole persona, and within 15 minutes you say, this is a kid that you want to invest in, and you believe can go all the way. We can open a platform, the rest is up to him now.
I think so. Now, we've just got a very interesting question over SMS, actually. Somebody wants to know how young you need to be to qualify for the Asian Drivers Development Program. For example, can somebody as old as 35 still get into the program?
Well,
what's the maximum age?
There is no maximum, just like AirAsia. You know, cabin crew before we came along had to retire at 35.
Yeah, that's true.
Now we said no, you know.
Do it with the age.
We're 55, so age is not a problem. Quite relevant to me as I get older and older. But realistically, and if you even look at Michael Schumacher, who is probably one of the best drivers ever, he's struggling.
Probably.
He's struggling. Well, I'm middle, Ayrton Senna, man. But you know, he's struggling a bit. The reactions aren't there, so you know, we all feel it. I'm sure you two don't. But as we age, you leave so it'd be harder at a 35-year-old, I'd imagine. So we are looking at people from 7, 8 years old, to be honest. It's a great question. I never thought about the upper age, to be honest. But realistically, you'd want to put the money in at an earlier stage so they have more time to develop.
Well, this sort of skill level that you're trying to achieve, you know, you have to start from that age, because it's motor skills, it's you know, it's instincts, all that goes, everything on the track happens in fractions of seconds.
Correct. And you think that, you know, between first and 10th could be 200ths of a second.
You know, it's crazy.
You know, it's one little error can cost you 10 places.
So everything needs to be ingrained in you from a very young age, so that by the time you hit like Lewis Hamilton's age, or, you know, and Nabil yourself, you have that kind of skills, you know, that already can take you there. So,
are you giving yourself a deadline
to
get on the track?
F1,
I'm not going to rush to things because this is my first year in cars, so I'll just try my best, and like what Tony said, just strive for the best. So I won't push it and just do well in this year first for BMW, and if I do well, I know I'll carry on to the next step and just do well all over again. But
you know, I have to say, I keep forgetting that I'm speaking to a 16-year-old because this guy sounds really mature and very down to earth. So yeah, you know, I have to agree with you, Dr. Tony. He's definitely going places.
Well, that's what I think. And I think the key is a sense of reality. You know, I think the easy question was, oh yeah, I'm going to give myself 5 years to get up.
That would have been a 16-year-old answer, wouldn't it?
It's like, so let's take it one step at a time. And it's the same approach we did at AirAsia. You know, when we started, the first question was, will you be here in 3 months' time? And I said, well, come and see us in 3 months' time. And then it was after 3 months, so where will you be in 5 years' time? I said, I have no idea. Let's take it one step at a time, and we'll grow, and we'll grow as quick as we can, but we'll do it properly. So I think it's the same principles.
That is for you, Tony. One final question before we have to wrap this up, and this slightly away from the topic at hand. At the end of the season, who's going to be dressed in a stewardess outfit?
Yes, there's that bet going on.
Well, we have another race on Sunday. Mr. Branson is unfortunately way behind me. He's coming to Malaysia, and he wanted to know whether he should send his measurements through.
Fantastic.
So, I said, no, we want a perfect fit. So we have plenty of time, but I sent him a razor. And, start shaving your legs and beard, mate. We don't have hairy stewardesses.
Thank